Hey everyone, it's Coach Mo Fall here with another Motivational Monday live with one of my awesomest coaches, Coach Stacy, an ex-CEO and badass all of her own accord. Stacy, welcome to this Motivational Monday.
Hi, Mo. How you doing?
Good, good. Stacy and I have known each other a long time and have built our careers almost side by side. And about 4 years ago, I asked her to join me in my leadership academy to give an executive voice from the real world, as I had finished my 30-year plus career in the executive ranks and had started doing this coaching. I asked her to be a part of that leadership academy, and everything she said resonated with the women who were in our leadership academy. And then one thing leading to another, her company was bought out by venture capitalists, and dare we say, Stacy, the rest is sort of how corporate history goes. And she's been a coach with me now for almost 3 years, coaching the top tier of our clients, the executives who need to navigate landmines and minefields. And she also coaches everyone in our 12-week signature program on negotiating techniques, powerful interview practice and prep, and just coaching women through the barriers that we have as women in the world. And today's topic, Stacy, is like life is too short to do it alone.
Yeah, great topic. Great topic. Because you can't do things alone. But first you have to empower yourself.
Right.
And
Exactly.
then the next step is to find a team of people that can help you.
Right. You know, you probably remember this, although maybe not, but in the year 2000, I had colleagues at my then vice president role in a health system say, you need to find a coach. The way this is going is not going to go in your favor. And I was banging my head up against the wall trying to initiate some big strategies that I was responsible for in the organization. And no one was moving forward with me. And I had to beg, borrow, and steal to get some allies and champions. And it was a lot of stress. And underneath all of that was basically a sense of not feeling seen or heard enough.
Mm-hmm.
As I began to unpack that with my very first coach, I realized that I was going about that all the wrong way. And now that I've been coaching thousands of women through their careers, and I was able to advance my career at that point, I realized one big thing that stops women from advancing in their careers and being the success that they want to be is what we're taught as young girls and women in the early stages. Now, in some ways, it seems like you sort of avoided some of that programming, but let's talk about how we women tend to get conditioned or programmed into certain thoughts and behaviors that really just trap us.
Yeah. A lot of it is just your upbringing and what you're surrounded with. You don't even know that it's happening, but it does
Right.
happen. We are programmed by what we know. You come into this world knowing nothing,
Right.
right? So how do you find that out? How do you learn things? You learn things by being around things, right? And then you get programmed. You go through life with that programming. For
Yeah.
instance, as a young girl, women are told to be patient,
Yes, we are.
to take a step back, be patient, it'll happen. They're not told to go out and seek and find.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're told to relax their desires, not fall into, not encourage the desires.
Right.
Right. And that follows through their whole life, is to be patient, which is one of the reasons why women stay in jobs too long.
Right.
And
do for others. As we're holding back, we're supposed to busy ourselves with doing for others.
yeah, that's part of the belief system that gets programmed into you, is that women are the caregivers. Women are the caretakers. So women have to take care of everyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's changing that programming that
Right.
no, I have to take care of me as a woman first. When I take care of me, then I could take care of my children. I don't need to take care of my husband or my partner. They're a grown adult and they're programmed to take care of them.
Right. As you're speaking, I'm thinking of many women who we have coached, and I'm also thinking of something that we both saw in the healthcare sector, and that is a lot of women being office managers or nurses to a lot of the male physician doctors or doctors' practices, and that's where we both got our roots in growing up into healthcare executives. And I'm thinking of this over loyalty syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was first in healthcare consulting, when I was in my early 30s, I helped office managers navigate a bigger career, and I created a certification program at a local college. Many of these women had not ever seen themselves as going to college, and I helped them learn things that they hadn't taken the time to learn. And really what I did is empower them. And we know that so many women get stuck in their careers through displaced loyalty. They just feel that they have to be loyal and they have to stick around, and they're the one who's supposed to make something happen. What do you think is the genesis of their, why do women get trapped in that loyalty syndrome?
I'm going to go back to programming and their belief system. They believe that being loyal is the way to advance their career.
Right.
But that's absolutely not the truth. That is absolutely not the truth. I was coaching someone yesterday. She's interviewing for new jobs. She wants to be able to tell her new employer that she wants to give 30 days notice. I said, why? You don't have to give 30 days notice. You're not the executive level. That's 2 weeks notice. Give your 2 weeks notice. Awesome. That's respectable. But she doesn't have to be over loyal. And she said, that's what I'm doing. I'm being over loyal.
Right.
So today she calls me that her company has had several layoffs and that they're freezing pay because her company's doing what they have to do to survive.
Right.
It's not personal. And she's taking the loyalty as a personal.
Right.
It's not.
And
again,
that's where
she needs to put herself first. Be loyal to her. Yes, have loyalty.
Exactly.
Just like when we talked about putting yourself first. Put yourself first, take care of you, then you take care of the rest in your life, right? But you first. Same thing with loyal. Where is your loyalty? Your loyalty is to you.
Right.
But again, that's not how they're programmed.
No,
that's not how women are programmed.
Yeah, displaced loyalty traps women in underpaid jobs. We get convinced through socialization and the conditioning that you're describing that we have to stick around, that we owe them something, or that if we quit, we're a failure. And sometimes that starts to erode us inside, and we develop this deep sense of self-doubt. And then we don't even know if we could ever even get a job somewhere else because we're so convinced that this is the only place that we could possibly do good work or get hired. And God forbid we think about the fact that most women who are in jobs too long, and too long has its own parameters. But if you're in a job greater than 5 years and you haven't gotten promoted, you're more than likely in a depressed salary range. And if you've been in a place greater than 10 years, you're likely way depressed relative to the market. So you're not only expressing this conditioning prison that you're in of feeling like you have to take care of everyone and fill in the gaps and do other people's work, and you've probably been past other people who quit or left or moved on or got promoted, you've probably been handed their work, and now you're over loyal, so you have that next layer on, and then throw the layer on of underpaid. Usually we find our clients are $30,000 to $50,000 underpaid.
Yes.
And that's the check that you're writing to loyalty. Oh, I think I'll write my employer a check for $50,000 to be loyal to them. And then during the hardships or during hard times, a company's just going to come by and do what they have to do anyway. They're not
That's
going to be
true.
loyal back.
No,
So if we're
because
expressing
they're thinking
loyalty,
of their business.
of
Because
course,
they're looking at their business and what's in it
Yeah.
for them and how do
Yeah.
they improve their bottom line, which is what
That's right.
they're supposed to do.
right.
Right.
Yes.
Another thing is women don't ask for things.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
wait for it to happen to them. Now, again, this isn't all women. This is what I have
It's
found
most of them.
with the clients who come
Yeah.
into the coaching program. They
Right.
don't know how to ask, or they feel funny asking, or they feel uncomfortable asking. And what we do is help them get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That is exactly what we do. Not overnight, takes time, takes practice. But if you don't ask, you're not going to get. That's
Right.
just the way it is.
Right. How about our wonderful client who this week well, I think she actually landed her job at the end of last week. And now she's putting her video for her elevator pitch. And what a difference
Yes.
she is from the inside out, shining. And I know you did a lot of great work with her to get her interview prep ready. And the work that we do at the very beginning of our signature workshop is to help women feel good about who they are inside. Because as Stacey's talking about, that programming is going to win the day. That loyalty is going to win the day. That fear of asking, or even not feeling that you're worthy of asking, is going to win the day until you build up your own internal self to be bigger than the programming, bigger than the loyalty, bigger than the fear. And when you can begin to build your inside, I call it your soul, that shiny light from the inside, and that can rise above all of these limitations. And many of us have used the word limited thinking or limiting beliefs. All of that conditioning gets broken down when we build ourselves up from the inside. And that's why my signature coaching program goes step one in that direction. And Stacey, you've seen women come alive from barely being able to really talk about their achievements at all. As a matter of fact, not even see their achievements.
Not even see.
As
That's
we're
the
prepping
beginning.
them
Not
for
even
their
see.
resume
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. They can't even see it.
Right. I was working with a client last night on her resume. So what I was doing was prompting and asking questions
Mhm.
for her to dig inside and get out of her brain what she's doing. And she was able to do that. And I said, do you hear what you're saying? Read what you just wrote. Read what we just talked about. She was
Blown away
in
that she
awe of herself,
yeah.
but she was not able to get it out of her
Yes. Well,
because
she
she
was
was
your great
stuck.
coaching. Right. And
She was stuck. I had to
Yes.
coach her to
Yes.
these things to make her see who she was, and let's get it on paper and really blow your resume out of the water. That's what we do.
that's right. And when we're able to help our clients see their superpowers in that way, starting with their interior self of how awesome they are as a soul being, and then we're able to point them in the direction of the things that they've done career-wise. Man, I probably should be the director here instead of the senior manager. I might be ready for vice president soon. And so as we're able to peel the layers of that bad programming, that conditioning, those limiting beliefs, that over loyalty, that fear of asking for more or asking for anything. Now this woman is lit up on the inside. She's beginning to see who she is. We have our certified resume coach and our certified LinkedIn coach put all of that on paper and on the LinkedIn, and they're able to have a robust social media presence. And we go to town helping them interview powerfully, answering questions, and be able to articulate the stories, the case examples of why they fit well in that next tier role or in a different organization. What are some of the things that women say to you when you help them break through those barriers of conditioning and over loyalty and fear of asking?
once they really see, once we get to the point of breaking that down and getting it out, and they really see who they are, there is joy, there is tears. And some of them get upset when they've been wasting their time in a certain role for so long because they couldn't see themselves, because they felt trapped.
Yes.
They felt trapped. They did not have anywhere else to go because they couldn't see themselves for what our coaching helped them see.
Right.
So what comes at the end? Pure joy. What comes at the end? Standing in their power. What comes at the end? Being able to speak about themselves, being able to command a conversation.
Yeah.
But they can't do that alone.
No, and
They need to get there.
It takes a few steps and a few weeks in our proven formula approach that we have to get the insides lit up, get the outsides articulated. And professional women, if you're listening to this and it's resonating and you'd like to get started knowing if our coaching is right for you, book a complimentary career clarity call with one of our career breakthrough strategists. She'll go through with you what's not working in your career and help understand for you what those obstacles and challenges are. And perhaps based on that, we can figure out if we can help you. And if you have a promotion or a next career move in you that you've not been able to get to, or you haven't been able to pull yourself up to that level, if we can help you do that and we're the right fit, we will talk about what our workshop entails and how we do what we do. We've had over 2,000 amazing, awesome women work with us and up-level their careers. And some of them have been in their early 30s. And Stacey, you know me this way. I like do the math on this. So if you're in your early 30s and you've got 30 more years of a career and we've helped you gain $50,000 per year times 30 years, that's $1.5 million extra of earnings. Your career is a bigger asset than any house you'll own, than any stock you'll own, than anything you will ever be able to invest in. Your career, first of all, is in your control, not like a Google stock, it's not in your control. And the real estate market is not within your control, but your career is. To be able to add $1.5 million of extra income because you invest in yourself and you get the right experts on the team with you, breaking down the barriers, getting you out of that extra loyalty and removing the fear of you asking for something more. You just helped a woman navigate, she was at a company for a pretty long time, a healthcare company. You helped her navigate an almost $40,000 increase.
Yeah.
And as she was asking for more, tell us a little bit about her aha moments and her experience in coming into her own to do something that she has never done before, which was to ask more.
She was very nervous. I had to coach her in the correct talk track, which really she had in her by then, but I had to role play to help her get it out. And once she saw that, she was able to take action. That's what we do. We help women take action. We role played quite a few times to get her to that point, but she did the ask and she asked for it all. And they came back with most.
Yep.
So,
and she realized in doing the ask and how she was treated in that process, that she's even more motivated than ever to take her career to the next level somewhere else.
absolutely. Absolutely. She had been in a job for 17 years. Not the same job, same company, and had moved about. And then they laid her off.
Yep.
Okay. And this happens over and over.
That's right. That's right.
And she felt trapped. She didn't know where to go, no matter what, didn't know what to do. Again, can't do it alone.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And we have another woman who was navigating an up level in her organization. And as she's doing that, she gets an opportunity to interview for another opportunity. And that opportunity looks fantastic and it's better than ever. And she's able to then leverage that ask into her current company, which she really didn't totally want to leave, but she was sick and tired of sort of getting played and lied to and not being able to exert herself in the full way that she wants to. You also are you're coaching our clients who are in our top tier executive circle. And these are women who have gotten the full toolkit. They are really in fantastic director, executive director, VP plus types of jobs. And working with those women who have the whole toolkit, they're still hitting these same barriers. These are common barriers for women.
Right. But we have monthly coaching. So they have the monthly support. They lean in. I hold them accountable. I go back 3 months ago, we talked about ABCD, right? Where are we now on that? But yeah, a lot of it is, again, years and years of programming.
Right.
You don't just shed it. You don't shed it and be done. Yeah, decades. You're not shedding it and done, but you tap in a lot faster to your new programming. Right. It's just like when you're training for something. You can't run out and run a marathon. You gotta train for it.
Right.
And then to stay in shape after, you gotta work at it. So you gotta work at this. But you know what? It's your career, it's your life.
Yes. Yes.
It's your mindset.
Yes. And when you're in the right mode of feeling awesome about who you are, instead of feeling trapped, when you know who you are and what you bring to the table, you're less likely to have the external world influence you or have you be triggered to react to something that throws you off into an emotional tangent. Many women who finally get to us, again, ladies, if you're listening to this and this is resonating, book your career clarity call now at mofall.com/live clarity. I'll tell you why. Because the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The best time to work on your career was 20 years ago. Now is the second best time. Today is the day to take action for yourself. mofall.com/live clarity. And I'll tell you this, every single woman who we've coached, we've been able to uplift them from the inside out. And there's always a handful of clients, Stacey, that when we help lift them up into their confidence and into their soul, and into their truth, all of a sudden the world around them shifts. So what was a toxic environment, or what was them not getting seen and heard, now all of a sudden they're getting seen and heard. And I remember one client in particular, very, very poignant coaching time I had with her. She was about week 6, and she had gotten put on a great project that she'd always been wanting to get elevated to. And I said to her, what was the main change? She said, I stopped being angry at the world. And I remember her face shifting almost every week from just angry at the world to peaceful and happy. And we do a lot of techniques to help our clients get to that state. She said, I stopped being angry at the world. And all of a sudden, I'm being treated differently at work.
Yeah.
It's very easy to be angry at the world when you feel trapped, when you have conditioning and programming that's holding you back, when you've been over loyal because you think that that's the playing cards that you're supposed to be dealing, or when you've been put on too much work and you've stayed somewhere too long and you're underpaid. Of course, you're going to be angry. Of course, you're going to be stressed out. Of course, you're going to be maxed out. No one wins in that. Not the people at home.
Right.
Not the people at work. Chances are your friends are seeing less and less of you because when you're chronically overworked and overtired, you're shutting down your social system. Chances are you're sitting at home doing stuff to cope. And those things aren't typically very empowering. Over drinking, over watching TV, not sleeping, overeating, maybe over shopping. All of these things to try to give us some hits of dopamine because we don't feel good about ourselves. So we're getting these hits of dopamine from other places, or we're drowning our negative feelings. Stacey, you had an uncommonly fantastic, awesome career. And I know in watching you over the years, it was partly because you kept stepping into a more courageous posture. What did you do, or how did you navigate yourself in order to raise yourself up to the CEO level and actually maintain that level for 14 years as the chief executive officer of a growing, big, shifting organization for that long?
Well, through my whole career, I didn't ask and wait. I asked. I didn't wait. I asked for things. I looked at ways to improve myself, right?
Mhm.
I didn't sit around and expect to get. I took action on my career, right? I stayed focused. I read the room.
Mhm.
I understood people, made connections with people. Can't underestimate connections, getting things done, and I always delivered results.
Mhm. Yeah. Let's talk about reading the room for a split second before we wrap up, because this is a really critical situation. Women who are overstressed, over loyal, overworked are not able to read the room because they are such and such a stress response. They can't possibly have that much tuning in to their outside world. What are some of the things that you see our clients or that you coach our clients on to help them minimize that? And then we'll wrap up.
Well, what I ask, first of all, I always ask a situation when a client makes a statement about something. I'm always like, well, what's the backstory? How did you lead to that conclusion? Tell me what's going on. Give me
Right.
some of the facts. Who else was in the room? Who were the players? Explain the dynamic to me, right? And then I ask leading questions to get answers, not open and shut questions, not yes and no. I'm digging.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one thing I have always done in my career was dig.
Exactly.
And I'm good at digging,
Don't
right?
take
So
the first answer as the answer.
never. And you could ask a question, and depending on the way you ask it, get different answers,
Hmm.
right? So
Absolutely.
it's understanding the situation. It's personalized coaching. You know, I connect with the clients, right? So I ask the questions to help them progress to the
Yes.
next step, how
Yes.
to take the action on the next move, how to take notes for the next meeting, how to be the driver in the driver's seat rather than the passenger seat, right? Not overnight, but these are the little steps I take to really listen to them to understand what's going on.
And if you can show them a little bit about what it looks like, they can then practice that. They can take step 1, step 2, step 3. You're an excellent coach for all of our clients. Professional women, if you're listening to this and it's resonating, I want to tell you something. Stacy and I have between us almost 75 years of executive experience in the real world. And we bring that to our clients at all levels. Don't think this is just for executives. We help women who are making 65, 75, 80, $85,000 a year, and women who are making 5, 6, 7, 800 million. We've had several $1 million earners. All in between. We're deprogramming the female conditioning, the socialization. It's part of our work to help you be the best version of you, the best female version of you, but not the program version, the empowered version. mofall.com/live clarity gets the wheels turning because we can understand who you are and what's going on. And if we can help you, we will talk about our coaching program and how we can help you specifically. It's what we do. It's what we now enjoy and have a passion for. Stacy, thanks for joining me on this powerful interview of helping women understand you can't advance your career on your own. Find the right experts, get the right help, and break through those barriers that have been imposed upon you that you've been living with as a cage. Thanks again, Stacy, very much for joining me on this interview.
You're so welcome.